I'd say this would be the morning of the 20th of June. It's a Friday morning, because yesterday was Thursday, that's how I know. And we leave all the troubles in the world and hope and pray that they'll not be too bad for now. I think that Trump was originally going to attack Iran. I think Greater Council has prevailed. America lost a lot of wars and it can't afford to go into war. Maybe some better settlement will come out of it, but I'm not going to deal with it now anyway. It's a kind of a stalemate over there at the moment. And of course, the other thing is the Ukraine war is now on the back boiler, and that's great because a lot of that old nonsense is gone, and we're left with the EU and it's global warming and it's climate change and it's carbon taxes, and I'd say they're under a bit of pressure there. Nobody's paying any heed to them anymore, so we'll give all that a bit of a rest. Now, one of the things I made the video about the about the curse, and people are asking me an awful lot about that. And people are always trying to contact me. When you have 10,000 plus subscribers, and when everybody knows you, I'm probably very well known now, well, people want to chat, but folks, this is the middle of the summer. I have to get my work done, and people, I'd ask you not to get insulted. I just can't put on the phone. And then I have to have my phone on, because if my contractor wants to ring me, are you ready? I'm ready to come down to you now. I have to be able to take that call. The phone is one of the greatest. I'd say we'd have been in a serious economic downturn years ago only for the mobile phone. The mobile phone made communications easy and simple and helped with economic activity. So if you're a quarry providing, we'll say, or a concrete company, I mean, you can get word out to your man on the lorry and you can tell him go to such a place, or if some farmer wants it delivered a different way, you can communicate instantly. And the advantage of the mobile phone that way, even in everything, even in policing. Now, when I was a detective sergeant, I was solving crime, the state would not give me a mobile phone. They deliberately wouldn't give it to me because they didn't like me. But anyway, I had to use my own, but then I got it out of them some other way. I put in a big bill for overtime or something, and make sure I got all I was due. Anyway, that's another day's work. Now, the thing about it is it's a lovely day here. Oh, folks, you wouldn't ask for a better day. It's beautiful out there. The cattle are, and they try and get a wee breeze, and they all face into the breeze like this, and they be chewing away, and they get the breeze up their nose, like it suits everybody. So anyway, the thing about it is, on the one about the curse and the drinking, no, I'm now contacted by a person with quite a good bit of experience, and they say that it's the summer, that you lose your taste for whiskey in the summer, that it's a wintertime drink. And when you think of it, it is a kind of traditionally a wintertime drink. I mean, Redbreast has the robin, a winter bird on it. You never see them much this time of year. But maybe that's the truth. Maybe it's seasonal. I still think there's some curse on me because I can't drink at all. I had nothing yesterday, nothing for nearly 2 weeks. Not good. And if this goes on, the pubs will all close. Will pubs last at all? Will you comment on underneath, will they? Now, somebody asked a question. Fent at 3848 at Fend, I think at 348, on that video on the curse, asked me, what would I do with 250 million euros? And that's a very straight question. What would I do? I wouldn't want to change my lifestyle that much. Anywhere I could, I have a policy anyway on my farming that if I can get it done by somebody else and they want to do it, or to some young fellow with a tractor and he wants to top the fields, give him a few bob and let him off. Now, there's a funny thing. People that I do deals with won't take me money. They use me for a bank. That's very important to understand for anyone studying finance. I remember way back, must be 86, I'd say, and it might be 90, might be 91. I wanted a house plastered, a new house I was building, and I wanted it plastered. And there was a crowd doing it, and they were good. And I went to see them doing it, and they were humming songs that had a great method, and I liked the way they did it, and they were efficient. So I asked them would they do it, and they said they would at a certain time, so I waited till they were ready. And we done the deal for 2,700 euros. I can't remember was there VAT or not, tell you the truth. And 2,700 euros. So anyway, they done it, and they done a great job. They done a good job. I no complaint at all. I didn't annoy them at all. And you'd hear them humming in there and chatting, and they'd cut down, they'd stop for the tea. Stop all, do the up again, get it done. And they were gone home a bit early in the evening, They got the job done, and he says to me the day before, how do you think of it now? I said, I'm very happy. I told him the truth because it was a good job. But I built a great house anyway, great foundations, but still, it was nice to get it plastered properly, or rendered as they call it. So anyway, I said, I better get your money. I get me 2,000, he says. Now the deal was for 2,700. That was pounds sterling. No, I'm wrong. It was pounds Irish, punt. An Irish punt is 1.27 nominal value euros. So it changed in 2001, and this was the early 90s, I think. So this was Irish pounds. So you can multiply by a factor of 1.27, and I got out the money, and you had 2,000, or got it, or I think it was a check. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, I said to him, "How come you're only taking 2,000? You're not going to? I thought the deal was 2,700. Oh, we'll get that of you in due course." So I paid the money, and off he went, and that was in October, and it coming up to Easter. I got a panic phone call from the head of the plaster. Val, well, have you any money? Have you money? What do you mean, have I money? You wouldn't take me money. No, how much you owe? I owe you £700. Ah, yeah, that's right. Can you get that? This was about the day before, the Wednesday before Easter. So that's Spy Wednesday, I think it is. So I went and I got him the 700. I had it. I don't know, I think it was cash, all right. So he said, I have it here, come on. So he landed down, and a bit of a hurry on him. Around Holy Thursday. And there you are. I don't know, was I the receipts, or I think it wasn't. I didn't need receipts. I trusted them anyway. So says, I come here, before I give you this, why did you not take it off me in the beginning? And now you want it in a hurry. Well, he says, the reason is we have a horse. We have a horse. They owned a horse. Him and about 6 other people owned a horse. I think she was Raggy Maggie or something, or Ragtail Maggie or somebody like that. I was a bear. And we're going to Fairy House, and we want to put on a bet. So that was it. That's why he wanted the 700. Don't ask me, did the horse win, but he had another one running since, and the horse was beaten second. A horse came over from England to run again, or can't think of the name of it. I might post it underneath, and I might not, because it might identify them. Anyway, that's what was going on there, and I find that a lot of people will use you as a bank, and that's very important for young people to understand that concept. An awful lot of the world is built on debt and built on favours, and one favour deserves another. And that's it. You build up owings, or you build up credit with people, and they build up credit with you. Now, that if you work for people, I said that before about the nursing homes, the most you can claim is €6,000 for doing work in their lifetime. So watch out for that. You can't claim the whole lot. So that's that. So then the last question is, folks, and then I'm done for the day. The question was asked, what would I do with 250 million? And that question, I believe, is a smart arse. That fent, he's a bit of a smart arse, trying to draw me out. We'll see what he says now. 250 million, a lot of money. What would I do with it? I don't know what to do with it. If you buy property, you have to manage it. If you let flats out, if you have flats and you have someone won't pay you and some bucko won't pay you, you have to put them out. Oh, God, it's a hard hassle. Gold, where would you keep it? And if you have gold saved in a deposit box, the government will take it. Or if there's a tight squeeze, they'll take it. They took it in America in 1933 and never gave it back. Or you could hide it. Then if you die, it's gone. You could tell somebody where it is, and then somebody might find it. What good is it? They're busy digging gold everywhere and putting it in big vaults, and never done it. It just sits there. Not so sure. But one of the things I definitely do is my inventions, and I have a couple of projects going at the moment which I'll share with you if I don't blow myself up with hydrogen gas and things like that. Bit dangerous, so I'd probably, if there was something dangerous, I'd pay someone to do the dangerous work. But then they see that I wouldn't like that either. I'm not the type of where I want to blind somebody or anything. I'd rather have my own safety measures. But I have a few things I'm designing, and I showed you that, and I mentioned about the great invention, the great cure for the baldness. and the problem getting it licensed. You can't sell a potion for baldness because you have to get licensed. Any medical thing. And so the problem with the bloody stuff is it'll grow hair, great, lovely, lovely black hair, but it grows on your hand or anything it touches. So if a drop of it fell on a baby's face, the baby'd have hair growing out here. So they won't license it. It's dangerous stuff. Tried diluting it down, and I don't know. It's not easy. Would anyone volunteer to let us try it? But that's the thing. How can you make it grow hair only on the head and not on the hand? Now, the other thing I do, Fend 348, the one thing I'd love to make is a thing where, like a chair. Do you know an ordinary chair that you sit on? Not a big fancy chair. You know, the ordinary Windsor type chair. A good solid chair. With a bit of padding on it that you sit backwards. Do you know the way you sit backwards? In other words, instead of sitting on the chair looking that with the back to your back, you sit this way. And you sit over it. A lot of people like to sit on the chair that way. And you can put your hands up on it. Well, I'd have it made with padding that you could put your arms up on it and relax and even put your chin on it. Do you know the way if you're at the eye doctor, he's put your head on the thing and you look in this way and he shines the light in. You see? If he shone in here, would he see anything? I don't know. Definitely shines into the eyes. Anyway, so the thing is, you sit that way. And then behind you is a similar device, this device. And this device has claws on it. It's AI, artificial intelligence. Well, we have an AI woman, Neve Smith, TD, over in Tunnyduff. That's only over that way there. It's only that way there, Tunnyduff. It's down Bickett Hill there. And she's in charge of AI. She's a TD. So with AI, you could have a form of a man's back. You'd have a back and arms, just the back of your arms. In other words, like a person, as if there was a person sitting in front of you, and you were there, and you'd have a lead on each hand, and whatever you do here, the thing behind it do the same. Now I'd love to get someone to paint this or to develop it, because I haven't the means. I don't have that AI thing. So then you'd then have take your shirt and all off, or if you're a woman, take your clothes off. You can leave your bottom parts on. You can have a front cover if you want, doesn't matter. But you lean gently against it and you get in the position. And you notice me with the white cow, I'm always scratching her. She loves to be scratched. And she does this. Oh, if you scratch her, she'll do this, like, you know, she's itchy. So anyway, a lot of people are itchy. I knew of an old lady one time used to get me to scratch her back too. And she wouldn't pay me, but she'd give me money, some wee thing, some other way, you know. But she'd be itchy, and lots of old people are itchy, and in nursing homes people are itchy, and their backs are itchy. It's a circulation problem, I think. I don't know. I don't suffer from it too much. Sometimes I might find my back itchy, especially if you're using your hands and you can't scratch. You know, that's the time. If your hands are occupied, you'll begin to find itchy noses, itchy eyes, and everything. If you can't, we do that just and it's all right. But if your hands was locked up or you were in a big plaster, you couldn't. You'd have to put your nose to something and scratch it. So the thing about it is, anyway, you'd get down in front of this and you'd scratch the yoke, and as you'd scratch, the two claws behind would scratch your back. So if you come along and you scratch down there, one of the claws would pull down that way. And then if you do that back up, it'll go back up like that. And then if you go this way, it'll scratch this way. So that'd be what I'd. You get the point now. You have the patient sitting down in the nursing home with all his millions going out to the state, and he's sitting there and he has his lovely and comfortable. He could have a wee straw, or he could have a wee drink of something like lemonade or something. Doesn't matter. Or one of them smoothies, you know, something like that. It doesn't really matter. And he bends over to that, or she bends over, and then as he moves the hand, the thing behind moves, and then you'd scratch down, you see, and then that scratch would come out on his or her back. Do you get the point? Now, I cannot understand why that's not invented. I think it'd be a great idea. You could scratch your own back, essentially. I mean, it is 2025. Imagine there's no machine to scratch your own back. So have a think about that. That's what I'd do. I'd go over to whoever that might make it. It could be the Chinese, I don't know, some crowd that would do it. I'd put an ad in the paper or write to the embassies, and they might assign some person to it. And it's easy enough to design a dummy of a person, and get the thing, a little thing, and you could buy it. It could be in the homes there. You could pay a little bit to it. You could have a wee slot that you put in €2 and you get a scratch. It'd have to be electric, but sure, it wouldn't take too much electricity. Does that explain and answer Fenn's problem? I'd try and develop that and patent it that have the benefit, and then see it working. And it'd be great satisfaction to know that in all the nursing homes around the world, older people would be getting their back scratched this way. You could also have it, they'd program it once, and then you could press a button and it'd redo the same everything. Be a great relief. The problem is, what about the Fianna Fáilers and Fine Gaelers? They'd be using it too. I don't know how. You'd want some patent that only decent people could use it. You would. You'd want some patent. I wouldn't like to think that I was scratching the back of a blue shirt. Oh, God bless us. And all the hardship they have done. And Simon Harris, the Taoiseach, they call him the Duracell Bunny. The Duracell Bunny, they call him in Dublin. Anyway, that's what I would do with it. I'd try and develop that, put somebody on it, put the team on it, make them responsible to me, get going on it. And if they've done their best, give them a good pay, let them do well for it. You never know what you might come up with. Then you could market it in online or in the shops. I don't know, it's a medical product or whatever. And you could, if it was really successful, you could see governments paying to adopt it. Now, one of the ways you'd get your money back real quick, if the migrants wanted it, they'd get it bought by the state, and you could charge 6 million. We said the thing only cost 3,500. We'll say 3,500 euros. If a migrant wanted it, he'd get 3.5 million allocated to him. So that'd be a great way of getting money back that way, because a migrant, no matter where they're from, could be ISIS terrorists, doesn't matter. Could be Russians too. They're great people. I think the government loves migrants from Russia as well, and so we're getting plenty of them, and I think that's the way it might work out. But you need someone to start off. So that's what I do with 250 million. I develop a scratching machine, electronic, fully automated, artificial intelligence, and you just use your hands and you'd scratch away like that. You know what I mean? And then that'd be programmed into it, and then you could sit in the next to it and it'd replicate it, and you wouldn't have any work to do. You could just rest back like that, press the button here, and there you are. Oh, that's nice. And you get your back scratched. Because everyone has a different part of the back that's itchy. Do you know what I mean? It's like my cow. At certain places. See, the reason this back needs scratching is you can't get around to it. Right, you can do this here, you know. That's not the thing, no. And that's the same with the cow. The cow can't get her tongue up to the top, you see. And it's the same with the person. The back's out of reach. It's the one place you can't really get to. And this would solve that. It would be a major thing. I think, in fact, it'd solve wars. If one country had it, they'd be talking about, oh, they have the scratcher. You know the way to say, oh, Israel has the bomb. Oh, the Germans are developing a bomb. Oh, the North Koreans, they're developing a bomb. Instead of that, they'd be developing a scratcher. So they'd say Kim Jong-un has a scratcher, and then he could lease it out to the South Koreans, and they could go on the divide between the 38th parallel, and Kim could get his back scratched by the lad in South Korea. I think they're gone communist as well too. So anyway, that's what I do. That's the question answered, and that's on 18 minutes. That's long enough, folks. That's me gone. I don't believe I'll be back today. Good luck. Thank you.